I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark, gothic MAGA.
Alright guys, welcome. We're going to share with you some things that are going to kind of open your eyes with regards to what is happening right now, especially with MAGA, with respect to Elon Musk. There are things that are coming to pass right now, I think, that are being hidden from the eyes of many. This is what we're told by 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike. He says, whenever the people need a hero, we, the Freemasons, will supply him. When you think about it and look at his book, Morals and Dogma, you'll notice a Masonic square and compass, also with a pyramid and the all-seeing eye above it that is illuminated, which is also known as the Illuminati. You'll see the same symbol, the square and compass, if you turn the X from Twitter backwards. Consider this with regards to this religion, the Masonic religion. Also, with regards to Albert Pike, it's important for us to understand that he says that the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees of Masonic religion are the highest degrees, and they maintain it in the purity of Luciferian doctrine. And he says Lucifer is God, basically, to those people. And you can see the Baphomet symbol on his shirt, on his front chest. Masons are builders, and they build certain ways with certain things, and that's what a Mason really is. But these Masons are obviously a secret society, and they have a secret order, a new world order, they call it, Novus Ordo Seclorum. You'll notice Elon Musk's Twitter update right after Trump was elected with him standing beside Trump. And he has on his Twitter update Novus Ordo Seclorum, in other words, New World Order or New Order of the Ages, which is also seen on the dollar bill. You'll notice Novus Ordo Seclorum below the pyramid. And the pyramid, of course, is a Masonic structure built by Masons. And at the top of that is the all-seeing eye in a pyramid with an illumination around it, illuminated, implying that they see things that we don't see. New World Order, it's an economic, military, and digital order that is coming, and I believe that Elon Musk may play a big part in it. I'm not going to play these videos, but a lot of people, such as George Bush, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and many others have talked about a new world order coming. But not only them, but also David Rockefeller, who said all we need is the right major crisis and the nations will accept the new world order. So is it possible that there is a right major crisis coming soon? Again, Pope calling for a new economic order. He also called for a new world order after the pandemic. But also, the World Economic Forum working with him, they want to reset the economy, and they believe the Pope has the prescription. I'll come back to why that's important in a second, but MAGA, when you look it up, you'll understand that it can mean sorceress, witch, magician, MAGA, magi. It comes from magi, magic. And ultimately, remember, Elon Musk is dark MAGA. And he is going to be leading the new Department of Government Efficiency in the Trump administration. This is something that's coming right now. He also has a coin called the Dogecoin, which is also a cryptocurrency, a digital currency. See, Masons are builders. They want to build back better, that they want to move people into cities, into corridors, and make all the outskirts of the cities off limits to humans, where there's no human use. This is a United Nations map of the United States, and the red zones will be completely off limits to humans. The yellow zones, highly regulated use, meaning you're not probably going to be allowed into those areas. That is into the country. And they want to build cities fit for the future, 15-minute cities where everybody can basically come together. This is no different than ancient Babylon. In ancient Babylon, they said, let us build us a city and a tower. And you'll see that this is the mystery religion that we're talking about. It is modern day Babylon. This is the European Union building right now. The name of it shall be called Babel. And Babylon is mentioned many times in the Bible. You also notice Nebuchadnezzar, he wanted to talk about how great of a city that he had built. There's a lot of pride involved with these builders building these magnificent buildings and structures and cities that they want to build together. They believe that they are the rulers and masters of the universe, when God tells us in his Bible to spread out and multiply. But keeping this all in mind, Revelation chapter 17:5 tells us about a modern day Babylon, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. This is, of course, the Catholic Church, arrayed in purple and scarlet. These are the priestly colors of the Catholic Church. And then furthermore, also decked with gold and precious stones. And that's Revelation chapter 17, talking about this Babylon, the woman which rules over the kings of the earth. She wants to control the United Nations. Just keep in mind that Babylon also believes that she is illuminated. Ishtar, ancient Babylon. You'll notice around Beyonce's head here is an illumination like the sun. It is sun worship. sun god worship. It's very similar to what's on the front of this book with the illuminated eye and illumination all around it. It is sun worship, and it is brought to you by Luciferian Freemasonry. This is Elon Musk. He has a picture of Baphomet on his chest, very similar to Albert Pike, but he is wearing a satanic garb, which is called the Devil's Champion, and it is a $7,500 costume with upside down crosses and the whole bit, completely satanic and right in our faces. They don't hide a lot. They actually come forward and pretty much push stuff into our face. It's Elon Musk's mother doing the all-seeing eye symbolism. She's got a pyramid over her eye in the bottom magazine. And then, of course, she's got one eye covered, which is symbolic of the Masonic all-seeing eye. This is Masonry, Freemasonry, right in our faces. Up on the top left, she's doing a 666 hand sign. It's a well-known hand sign, and a lot of people are doing it. These people believe that they see something that you don't see. They understand things that you don't understand. And so this all-seeing eye is a symbol of the Luciferian eye, because Lucifer is God in the Masonic religion, Novus Ordo Seclorum. They use this symbolism. They also use another symbol, the X. The Master Mason will put an X over his chest when he is a super excellent Master Mason and he is getting to the highest levels. And they will use the X sign, which also is used by Elon Musk. Some might say, oh, well, it's just to symbolize his X.com, but I believe it's deeper than that. I believe it is a Freemason sign. And that's why he said Novus Ordo Seclorum when Trump was elected. And also another person to use this symbolism is Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley wrote the book of the Law. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. And he was a high-level Freemason as well. You'll notice the square, the compass, the X's together. X marks the spot, it seems, and I'll share with you how this relates to the coming mark of the beast here as we continue. But do what thou wilt. This is Jay-Z, the husband of Beyonce. Do what thou wilt from Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law, which Aleister Crowley said he got from a demon. And these men believe that they are gods. And that is what the demon tries to teach. Ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. That's Genesis chapter 3. They also do these symbols, pyramid symbols, which are pyramids with the all-seeing eye. They are believing that they are illuminated, Illuminati. And that's why he has shirts that say Masters of the Craft. And on the top of it has the all-seeing eye on top, and also the pyramid in the middle, as well as many other Masonic symbols. And these people believe that they are gods. Jehovah, the god MC. Kanye West believes he's Jesus. He wrote the book of Jesus, put his name in place of Jesus. And of course, Beyonce, I Am tour. She's on I Am. They all think they're gods. A Trinity pretty much right there. We've got the Father, Son, and Spirit according to them. And they are symbolizing this ancient triquetra God. As you'll notice from the book of Two Babylons here from Alexander Hislop, he says that in the unity of that only one God of the Babylonians, there were three persons. And to symbolize that doctrine of the Trinity, they employed, as the discoveries of Layard prove, the equilateral triangle, just as it is well known the Romish Church does it at this day. The Romish Church used an equilateral triangle to symbolize their God, which is none other than the Trinity, the triquetra. This website here says the Eye of Providence, or all-seeing eye, is a symbol depicting the eye on the triangle, which is seen on the Great Seal of the United States $1 bill. And you can also see in this article, it furthermore says the association of an eye with the concept of divine providence is found in Christianity. In late Renaissance European iconography, the eye surrounded by a triangle was an explicit symbol of the Christian Holy Trinity. Furthermore, the eye of God as a triangle is still used in church architecture and Christian art to symbolize the Trinity and God's omnipresence and divine providence, the eye of providence. That is what the symbol symbolizes. And you can also see again, look at it again, you'll see up in the top of the picture on the right, the all-seeing eye. And that is what Christians use to symbolize God, the Trinity. And this is no different than today. It's just that it's obviously used by the occult, and they worship the Trinity. That is their God, and that's what they worship. And all roads ultimately lead to Rome, so you better be careful what road you're on. But this is, again, modern day Babylon, ancient Babylon. This is Nimrod, Ishtar, and Tammuz. Nimrod was married to Ishtar. When Nimrod died, they say he went to live in the sun, and they began to worship the sun, and then he came down, impregnated Ishtar, She had a son named Tammuz. And this is where we get our first Trinity, is from ancient Babylon, Babylonian worship. But furthermore, in this book, The Mystery of Iniquity, from John Michael Rood, he says Semiramis, also known as Ishtar, is the queen of heaven, was born again as the goddess Easter, or Ashtarte, Ishtar. As she emerged from a giant egg that landed in the Euphrates River at sunrise on the Sunday after the vernal equinox, to proclaim her divine authority, she changed a bird into an egg-laying rabbit. As the cult developed, the priests of Easter would impregnate young virgins on the altar of the goddess fertility at sunrise on Easter Sunday. A year later, the priests of Easter would sacrifice those 3-month-old babies on the altar at the front of the sanctuary and dye Easter eggs in blood of the sacrificed infants. So if you've ever been wondering where Easter Sunday comes from, it doesn't come from Jesus and the resurrection. That's the Passover. Easter Sunday comes from ancient Babylon and Ishtar and these other gods who worshipped and sacrificed babies, and then also used eggs to symbolize the fertility goddess Ishtar, or Ashtarte. Ishtar is, they say, the goddess of love, war, and fertility. But Ishtar, how does the resurrection have anything to do with such a practice as killing babies and dipping eggs in blood? Regarding sacrifice, let us just consider what Aleister Crowley, their leader, said. He said, those magicians, or magi, or magas, who object to the use of blood have endeavored to replace it with incense. But the bloody sacrifice, though more dangerous, is more efficacious. And for nearly all purposes, human sacrifice is the best. He's saying if you want the best results, use real humans. The devil loves real human sacrifice, of course. He wants to kill, destroy, and maim. And so when these people are practicing and following the ways of Aleister Crowley and Satan and the Masonic religion, I don't know what these people do in secret, and I'm sure that I don't want to know. But sadly, they are being deceived, and they are deceiving others into a Masonic religion that is completely satanic. Ashtarte, Ishtar, Illuminati. And also, with regards to men like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I'm not going to say what all they know in regard to this, but this is last week at the Ultimate Fighting Championships, where Elon Musk showed up and he had on his neck a symbol, an Omega symbol, which is God, with the all-seeing eye in the middle. And remember, their God is none other than Lucifer. Some people will say it's not, but it is. It's the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, as Albert Pike has told us in the high levels of Freemasonry. Also, this fertility goddess, you'll notice the woman down at the bottom, Beyonce with the baby, fertility. It's Illuminati, illumination over her head. And then, of course, we've got Jay-Z and we've got Rihanna and other singers practicing these things. And then on the left, you have Madonna. And on the back of her jacket, she has written Novus Ordo Seclorum on the bottom and the all-seeing illuminated eye on the top. But of course, Madonna is playing the other side. She's saying she's against Trump, that he's a rapist, a bigot, and other things like that. But, of course, they choose both sides. They tell us Babylonian Masonic worship, sun worship. There again, you have your Trinity. And then, of course, you have Madonna dressed up as Ishtar. She is not Madonna as in Mother Mary, and that's what is in the Catholic Church. But keeping this in mind, you'll notice over her eye, she has the symbol X, X.com. And of course, Madam X is what she likes to call herself. X is an important letter in regards to the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye. Again, you'll notice that it is brought to you by Freemasonry, by the high levels of Freemasonry. You can see that obviously the real Satanist is not so easily recognized as such, but however, this is a cultic practice, and that's what they're doing right before our eyes, is practicing occult symbolism. Like a prayer, she's praying to God. Who's the God of Masonry according to them? According to Albert Pike, the God of Masonry is none other than Satan. So who is she really praying to in the midnight hour when she needs power? And then they think that we don't see or understand, and they understand and can see something that we don't see, which is, of course, they believe that they are all seen, illuminated, and the X and the eye and the all-seeing eye symbolized with the one eye covering, that is actually satanic Illuminati Masonic worship. Now, coming back to this point, XES. These are the first three models of Elon Musk cars, the Tesla cars. E is a 3, backwards E, and then S, and then the X, XES. Now, I know some people are thinking of a word, but it's actually something deeper. See, XES is actually in the Bible. It's in Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, where it says that no man might buy or sell save he that has the mark or the name or the number, and his number is XES, 636. This is Greek for 666. That's what the XES stands for, 666. So the XES symbolically on these cars is 666. And it's right in our faces. It's being pushed into our faces, but I'll share with you more because this has to do with the mark of the beast. Now you'll also notice this X has the SEX in it as well. The E is sideways and the X is in the middle and the S is at the bottom. And then of course there's a P on the top. The P and the X kind of come together. They are Rho and Chi. And there is a Rho Chi society. You'll notice the PX, Rho and Chi. And these are a society for pharmacy, pharmaceuticals. Interesting how the pharmacy comes into that, PX, pharmaceuticals. But in regards to this, you'll notice also it's obviously a symbol that the Pope even uses, PX, Rho Chi. And it's not something that isn't just passed by. The serpent, of course, would use it in many different ways. You'll see the serpent symbolism in many places. I'm going to get to where it's really used here in regards to the mark of the beast. You may know that Bill Gates' bird flu is called the next disease X. Maybe this has something to do with the pharmacies of Babylon. As you know, in Revelation 18:23, it says, by big pharma are all nations deceived. And that's what's happened already, hasn't it? Anyways, and continuing on with regards to this, the Vatican uses this X in many of its symbols here. And you can see the P and the X in the shield as well. It was used during the Crusades as they made war with Christians. And you'll notice on the side it says City del Vaticano. The word Vatican in the Latin dictionary actually means prophecy, and it means city of prophecy. Revelation 17:18 tells us the woman is that great city of prophecy, and this woman is a fertility goddess. Gaia, she's known as well. Ishtar, Babylon, basically the mother goddess. That's what we're talking about here. City del Vaticano. And in Revelation 17, it tells us that this woman is holding a golden cup in her hand full of abominations. And you'll notice the cup in this symbol is holding a cup with a sun burst in it. It's right in our faces. Sun worship, Babylon. Remember, Nimrod, Ishtar, Tammuz. Ancient Trinity worship comes from Babylon. This is where all this ancient worship comes from. But also, this symbol was used by Constantine. Constantine the Great. We're told the Chi-Rho symbol is a Christian symbol. Regarding Emperor Constantine, he worshipped a counterfeit Christ, of course. He worshipped the gods of Babylon. He brought the Trinity into the church. And this was the symbol in which he used to conquer. In this sign, conquer, the PX, the X is a symbol over the sun. This all relates to sun worship, Illuminati sun worship, and the Trinity. Sun god, Nimrod, Ishtar, Tammuz. In this sign, conquer. This is the symbol, and this symbol was over the sun, sun worship. This is a T or an X, and they put this cross on people's heads. This cross was used many, many years back. The X, the X, the X. You'll see all these celebrities with these X's over their foreheads. Well, Ash Wednesday, it's called the Mark of Tammuz. They put something over their foreheads. And remember the mark of the beast? Long before Christ's crucifixion, the cross was used to symbolize Babylonian god Tammuz, who was killed by a wild boar. In his honor, women spent 40 days weeping for him. It was called the origins of Lent. Therefore, the ashes placed on the forehead or third eye is not a biblical tradition. Rather, it's symbolic of the sun god, whose name in Greek is Apollo. And so, ultimately, this is not biblical. This is something that they've been practicing. And the Bible talks about it as an abomination. In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, speaking of abominations, it says, He also said unto me, Turn thee yet again, thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate in the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. The women in Bible prophecy symbolize churches. Remember Revelation 17, the woman is holding a golden cup full of abominations. That abomination included sun, the sun worship, Sunday worship. We'll come to that as we continue, but also sun god worship, ancient sun god worship. See, the 40 days of Lent or weeping for Tammuz starts the Easter fertility season. The festivities culminate on Easter Sunday when the priests of Easter slaughtered the wild boar that killed Tammuz, and the entire congregation would eat the ham on Easter Sunday. If you're a Catholic, you know all about this, and you understand right now that you have been worshiping a pagan god on pagan days, but this is really ancient Babylonian occultic worship. Revelation 17 exposes this church, and it says she has a golden cup in her hand full of abominations, and these abominations include weeping for Tammuz and filthiness of her fornication, church and state union. Now Sunday, they tell us, Sunday is a mark. Distinctive of the Roman Catholic Church, Sunday Mass observance became a mark of a practicing Catholic. Remember, X marks the spot. Keeping this all in mind, continuing, the attendance at Sunday Mass is the mark of a practical Catholic. The worship of God demands the attendance at Sunday Mass of every Catholic worthy of the name. It's not hidden. You see, the Catholics use X to mark the spot. So does apostate Protestantism, but also so does the spiritualists, the witches, the magas. And continuing on, the nominal conversion of Constantine in the early part of the 4th century caused great rejoicing, and the world, cloaked with a form of righteousness, walked into the church. Now the work of corruption rapidly progressed. In other words, the Babylonian worship was brought into the church, and Sunday worship was allowed at this point, and also the worship of the Trinity was something that became a doctrine that eventually got forced onto the church, which was worship of the sun god on Sunday. And continuing on, in the early part of the 4th century, the Emperor Constantine issued a decree making Sunday a public festival throughout the Roman Empire. The Day of the Sun was reverenced by his pagan subjects and was honored by Christians. It was the emperor's policy to unite the conflicting interests of heathenism and Christianity. In other words, we could unite the magas, the witches, also with the Catholics and with the apostate Protestants. And this is written about in Revelation chapter 16, where it talks about a threefold union that would come to pass. But again, the Catholic Church, by virtue of her divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. And they admit this. They're telling us this in the Catholic Mirror and their official publications. They also tell us again that, of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change Saturday, Sabbath to Sunday was her act. And the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical authority in religious things. In other words, it's the mark of the beast. If you know what the beast is and you've studied the beast, you can understand this. And I will leave some Bible studies regarding who the beast is and also who the Antichrist is and what the mark of the beast is under this video for anybody that is interested. But furthermore, they tell us again, Sunday is our mark of authority. The church is above the Bible. And this observance of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. This is not a biblical religion. This is a sun-worshipping, occult religion that is hidden, and they've tried to push it into the Christian church, and most Christians today would have adopted many of these pagan practices, such as Christmas, which is the birthday of Tammuz and Nimrod, instead of the birthday of Christ. Revelation 13 does tell us they would worship the beast. They'd give honor or homage to the beast. Revelation 13, 17, 18 says, no man might buy or sell, which is coming very soon, save he that has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast. For his number of a man, his number is 666. And remember, 666. This, of course, is the first three letters of Elon Musk car brands. Thus, the observance of Sunday, they tell us, by Protestants, is an homage they pay, in spite of themselves, to the authority of the Catholic Church. The word homage means to worship, and the Bible tells us that many would worship the beast and worship his image. They also tell us that Sunday was already a day exalted among the heathen, being a day on which they worship the sun. So that is why it was adopted, and furthermore, because it is a day dedicated by the apostles to the honor of the most holy Trinity, they tell us. That's the Catholic reasons for keeping Sunday, and they do keep Sunday in honor of the sun god, which is the Trinity, and it comes from ancient Babylon. Who is Sol Invictus, the god of the unconquered sun? Sol Invictus was the official sun god of the late Roman Empire. Emperor Aurelian reintroduced the sun god and cult in AD 274, and the Emperor Constantine, also known as Constantine the Great, made the practice of Christianity legal in Rome, but continued to have his coins inscribed with the words Sol Invictus Comiti, which means Committee to the Invincible Sun. The birthday of the unconquered sun was celebrated at the Roman festival of Dies Natalis Solis Invicti on December 25th, and it is often theorized that Constantine had a hand in selecting this day as the celebration date of the birth of Christ as well. And obviously, he probably did. But again, the ancient Trinity got its start in ancient Babylon with Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis. Semiramis demanded worship for both her husband and her son, as well as herself. She claimed that her son was both the Father and the Son. Yes, he was God the Father and God the Son, the first divine incomprehensible Trinity. That from the Two Babylons from Alexander Hislop, page 51. So when you look at these symbols that they're throwing in our face, whether it be the triangle symbol or these illuminated symbols and illuminated eyes and modern day sun worship, it's all right in our face. This is not a Protestant president. I understand he has a high respect for the Catholic Church. And I understand it's one thing to be respectful to those within the Catholic Church, but it is another thing to expose those things. And obviously this is dark MAGA. They are not illuminated at all. They are very dark MAGA witchcraft. And I understand that a lot of people are not understanding what is coming to pass right now with regards to Bible prophecy. I will leave a couple links, one to the United States in prophecy, one to the Babylon the Great, and another one regarding the Mark of the Beast under this video so that you can check them out and understand more about what is coming to pass. And also check out some of my other videos in regards to the Sunday laws that are coming, and especially with regards to this next Trump administration that is coming in right now, because they are telling us straightly that they want to implement a project called Project 2025, and this Project 2025 will include future Sunday laws. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Also check out some of my previous videos as they are linked in the boxes here, and we'll see you next time. God bless.